Yop, salut la team. Vous avez vu, on a pris un peu de distance avec les chemins aujourd'hui. On se retrouve en Belgique. Un bonjour à nos abonnés belges d'ailleurs. Coucou à vous. On se retrouve ici, on va chez Lazer car ils ont le siège social ici. Il y a des nouveautés chez eux et notamment en termes de technologie de protection de casque. Allez, on voit ça dans cet épisode. C'est parti. Et surprise, on arrive chez Lazer by Shimano. Là-haut. On se retrouve avec Peter, responsable de vente à l'international.
Oui.
On te laisse t'exprimer en anglais, c'est peut-être plus facile pour toi.
Ok.
Est-ce que tu peux nous donner l'historique et nous présenter Lazer?
Sure. Lazer is born and raised in Belgium. We were actually born in the French part of Belgium. We were a company that started with leather goods, jackets, gloves, hats. Then we started developed helmets for motorcycles. And then there was a part where we did both motorcycle helmets and bike sport helmets. And then there was a mix, not a mix, but we split actually the companies. And then the bike, the Lazer Sport, that was responsible for the bike products, they went to the Flemish part, Anvers. And there we started developing our products, mainly focusing on the road. That's why we're famous for the past, Johan Museum, Tom Bonen, all those famous Flemish riders. And then there was a part that Shimano, in the strategy, we really fixed in the strategy of Shimano. They bought us. We developed more than road products. We go further than it. We built a nice range on mountain bike, road, of course, kids, urban. And now we are getting on a point where we develop products with a new technology that will help every cyclist with best protection and the best comfort, and it's named KinetiCore.
Du coup, on voit tout ça dans cette vidéo. Merci, Peter.
Thank you. Very welcome here.
On est avec Ruben qui va nous expliquer son boulot, comment on fait un casque et surtout comment on fait un casque avec un maximum de sécurité. Hello, Ruben.
Hello, nice to meet you. Yeah, my name is Ruben. I think you just said that because my French is not that good, but I will try my best. I'm a product development team manager at Lazer, which means that I'm responsible for all new product development. We are making a lot of helmets every single year. And my job is to make the best possible product for the dedicated customer. Yeah, so in general, product design takes us roughly 2 years. And that means that we start with the briefing. And in the briefing, we decide what kind of product we want to make. We consider the target group. We define a persona, some things like that. What are our functional specifications, but also technical specs. Checking what our customers are doing, what the other brands are doing, and these kind of things. And once that is set, we go to a designing phase, as we call it. And in the design phase, we start with sketching. Honestly speaking, I love to go as soon as possible to a more 3D kind of shape. It's also like the small stuff we have over here, which I really do with a scalpel, really the hard work, yeah, with stuff like that. But other designers like to stay on the sketching, or they like to go to three-dimensional shape in a computer-aided design model as well. So every designer has his own process. And for me, as a team manager, I also let people free to do whatever they want. But in my case, I love to go to those three-dimensional shapes because you see in a much more far-fetched way how you're doing in an early process. And once that is set, we go to a very big model, and then the hard stuff is there. So we're drilling and these kind of stuff, and we do that in our workspace over here. And we 3D scan this model actually. Yeah. So yeah, we make it, 3D scan it, and if we 3D scan it, we can go to the computer-aided design phase. And yeah, out of that we get models like this. So this already starts to look like a helmet, I can say. Yeah, it's coming from our 3D printers, and we do that in small and in big. So these are 50% scale models, and then we see the lines and see what we can do more. We of course also work a lot with our ambassadors, the pro team. So we're checking in an early stage what they think about the product and how they can help us in getting the best possible products. And in this phase, the 3D phase, we also start with a lot of simulations. Simulations aerodynamics, simulations in safety. So before we go to an actual product, we can already consider what the performance is of the product. So we see how fast is it compared to other products we made before, but we also can say that it's safe enough to pass all the required testing. Because you can imagine that once you have an actual product, it's much more difficult to do still changes and make the product better than it already is. And this is actually the first samples we got from our factories, and that's still a process of, let's say, 6 to 9 months before the product is final. So in general, these products looks almost similar, but for me, with the eye that I'm looking at, it's still completely different. Yeah, I think it's this is the most exciting part. Yeah, this is our high-end road helmet, so the Vento, and it's super fast, but also super well ventilated. So we try to put those two aspects into the product, and by doing that, we also integrate our new system, so the KinetiCore technology. And with the KinetiCore technology, we were able to make the helmet really sleek, but in the end, super safe as well. And that's both for rotational acceleration as linear acceleration. So this is our drop tower. We are really happy that we have facilities like this in our own setup here in Mechelen. With this drop tower, we can check if we have an actual product, how the safety performance is of the product. So what we do, we higher up the helmet until a certain height, and then we drop it. And you can imagine the higher we drop it, the more acceleration is coming, and the harder it fits on the anvil. So this we call the anvil, this we call the head form. And for the different standards, we have different head forms. Some ones are a little bit more heavier than the others. And also for different sizes, you have different head forms to make sure that we do a realistic test for people with small heads, with large heads, and these kind of things. So I'm not just talking about general certifications. So for France, for example, is the CE certificate we need to pass. But next to the thing that the CE certificate is an important one, because you need to pass it to put that helmet on the market, we also consider the rotational acceleration of the product, and there the new technology is coming in. So what we do, we again drop the helmet high, and what basically happens is that the helmet is hitting the anvil, and once it's hitting the anvil, it's rotating like this. Yes. And you want to have the rotation as less as possible, because the rotation is basically transforming on your head, and that causes brain injuries in the end. So what we do, we put the blocks inside, and it's really an integrated ID. So it's not like an add-on, but we reduced material. So we make basically the helmet lighter. We put less material in there, but by doing that, we created a system that the blocks can shear and almost break, and by doing that we reduced the rotational acceleration. Also with the linear impact, the blocks are like
Yes.
what you see in cars design as well, like the frontal hit, it's like compressing. And by doing that, we reduce that linear force, and that will not be translated to your head. That's basically the concept. Yeah, okay, and so if you have the concept with reducing that material, if we put the helmet full with EPS, it would still be a safe product. But by taking it away, we make it safer. But with taking it away, you also make the helmet lighter in the end. So, and we also could make it sleeker in its design because we need less material to pass the required safety testing. So we make it fast, we make it lighter. And you can also imagine that if you have the blocks over there, that if the air that is coming in, it can move in between the blocks over your head. So we create really small channels over the head, which making it more ventilated as well. So yeah, that's why we consider it not as an add-on, but as an integrated system, which combines a lot of worlds together by making the best possible product that we can do at this very moment. But the good thing, especially if we are living in 2022, also the environment is something you need to consider, because people start cycling because they don't want to take the car anymore. But then you also need to make sure that you offer products that are considered as more eco-friendly and more sustainable, and that's what we do by reducing the amount of plastics.
Thank you.
All right.
Et petite astuce déco pour les plus passionnés d'entre vous. Si vous ne savez pas quoi faire de vos vieux casques, Lazer a la solution. Regardez-moi ces beaux pots de fleurs. Yop, on est de retour à l'aéroport pour rentrer à la maison dans le sud. Bon, ce soleil, ça nous a donné grave envie d'aller rouler, donc on va aller retrouver les sentiers au plus vite. J'espère que cette vidéo vous aura plu, que vous avez appris pas mal de choses comme on a appris nous. Puis on a découvert un beau produit. Dites-nous ce que vous pensez de cette innovation. Puis surtout, pensez à vous abonner. C'est super important, vous le savez, et de mettre un gros pouce en l'air. Allez, on se retrouve la semaine prochaine. Allez faire du vélo. Bye bye.